Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to combine 1 1/3 cup water that is about 110 degrees, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 1/4 tablespoons of instant yeast. You can use non-instant if you choose. It just takes a little bit longer for things to rise that way. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to give that just a little bit of a stir. Get it all combined, and then we're going to let it sit and let the yeast fully bloom. It'll take about 10 minutes. You will also need, while that is blooming, you will need 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. So, there we go. Okay, so our yeast has bloomed, so we're going to add in with our flour. We're going to mix as well as we can with a fork. Once it starts coming together, and it's hard to mix with the fork, then we'll go in with our hands. Now, if you have a stand mixer, you can, of course, do this in a stand mixer. I do not have one at this time. Never had one. So I do it by hand, and it works out quite well. Okay. Great, tip that out. There we go. Now that it has all kind of come together, now we're going to knead this bread for 5 minutes. There we go. It should feel just a little bit sticky, but not completely stick to your hands. If it's too sticky, you can add just a little bit more flour, but do not add a bunch at a time. Do it very, very slowly. Okay, so once your 5 minutes is up, you're going to take your dough and place it in a nice clean bowl and tuck it in. Now for me, tucking it in is a lot easier when it's up in my hands, so I do not do it in the bowl. I tuck it in like that, let it sit, and cover for 1 hour. Now if you're using non-instant yeast, you will need to let it rest for 90 minutes rather than 60, and then we will start to roll out and fill these. While your dough's rising, this is a good time to shred up your cheese. Of course, you can buy pre-shredded cheese, but I don't like pre-shredded cheese. Now that you have your cheese shredded, you will also need 1 cup of ricotta cheese, a half a cup of parmesan cheese. Now the rest of this is completely optional. It is just something I like. I like to add a bit of parsley, around a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon, about a half a teaspoon. Same with some basil. And some oregano. As well as some garlic powder. Now we're gonna combine these all together best you can. Just mix it all in, get all the big clumps of the Parmesan broke up if there is any. Now, I am putting pepperoni in mine, so I don't really need to do anything, but if you want sausage in yours, this would be the time to fry up your sausage. If you want any vegetables in yours, this is a good time to saute them. Calzones are really wonderful because you can put just about whatever you like on a pizza in these calzones. So I'm doing just a simple cheese and pepperoni. That's what the king likes. I really like to add in some sauteed onions, green peppers, mushrooms, and stuff like that. But like I said, these ones I'm just making because the king likes to eat them and they're really good for him to take to work. So I'm going to make him his way, which is just some pepperoni and some cheese. but you feel free to do as you want to do with them and let me know what you think. You need to preheat your oven to 475 degrees. Alright, so our dough has risen. And you're going to want to line a baking sheet with parchment paper, or you can spray it with non-stick spray. Either way, I prefer the parchment paper. I'm not really a big fan of the non-stick sprays. And take our dough, a lightly floured surface. There we go. And we're going to split our dough into 8 pieces. I do not have one of the fancy cutters, so I do this by hand and by sight. And lightly flour the rolling pin. And a little more flour, I guess. Roll that out into the best circle you can. It don't have to be perfect. And then we will, okay, you need to create an egg wash, which is an egg and just a teaspoon of water, and whisk your egg and water together. And you will need 1 cup of marinara sauce or pizza sauce. You will put down your pizza sauce, not all the way to the edges, because those are going to need to be sealed to create your pocket of pizza. And then you'll put your ricotta cheese combination in. There we go. Add a few pepperoni and a bit of mozzarella. And then you're going to take your egg wash and a brush and brush your edges with the egg wash. Now, fold over and connect your edges. And take your fork and press those down together. So all your goodness don't leak on out. And then put it onto your parchment lined paper. It's generally a good idea to put it on the paper first. I just like to struggle. So do as I say, not as I do. Put it on your paper and then do all the rest. I hope that you enjoy this recipe. One final step. You're going to take your egg wash and brush over the top of your calzone. And then put just a couple little slits into your calzone. And once you have them all on, you will bake at 475 degrees for 15 minutes. They will be nice and golden brown. You can then take them out and enjoy. Alright, so they are fresh out of the oven, ready to eat. You can see we had some cheese escapage, but that's alright, it'll be wonderful. I hope that you guys try this recipe. I hope that you enjoy it, and let me know when you do try it.